For years, I preached one recipe for success. It was a time-tested formula, passed down through generations. I genuinely believed in it, saw it as the surest path to a fulfilling life. It was more than just advice. It was a deeply ingrained philosophy, a guiding principle that shaped my expectations and hopes for my children. I remember feeling so confident in its validity, so certain that it held the key to unlocking their potential. It was the same one my parents gave me, a legacy of expectations, a roadmap to navigate the complexities of life. They, in turn, had received it from their parents, creating a chain of inherited wisdom. It felt like a sacred trust, a responsibility to uphold and pass on to the next generation. This recipe wasn't just about achieving material success. It was about building a stable, secure, and respectable life. Go to school, study hard, immerse yourself in knowledge, absorb every lesson, and strive for excellence. School was the foundation, the bedrock upon which everything else would be built. It was the gateway to opportunity, the arena where potential was nurtured and skills were honed. I emphasized the importance of dedication, perseverance, and a relentless pursuit of academic achievement. Get good grades, aim for the top, strive for perfection, and let your report card be a testament to your hard work and dedication. Good grades were the currency of the academic world, the key to unlocking doors and opening pathways to higher education and future opportunities. They were a reflection of intelligence, discipline, and a commitment to excellence. Get a degree. A college education was the ultimate prize, the culmination of years of hard work and sacrifice. It was the golden ticket to a brighter future, a symbol of accomplishment and a gateway to professional success. A degree represented specialized knowledge, critical thinking skills, and the ability to adapt and thrive in a competitive world. And success will follow. That was the formula, the promise of a rewarding career, financial stability, and a life of comfort and security. It was a linear equation, a predictable path from education to employment to prosperity. I believed that by following these steps, my children would be guaranteed a life free from hardship and filled with opportunity. I told my son, just focus on your grades. Let them be your primary concern, your guiding star. Dedicate yourself to your studies and let everything else take a back seat. I wanted to shield him from distractions, to ensure that he remained laser-focused on achieving academic excellence. Everything else will fall into place. I truly believed that academic success was the foundation upon which all other aspects of life would be built. I envisioned a future where his hard work and dedication would be rewarded with a fulfilling career, a comfortable lifestyle, and a sense of accomplishment. I painted a future where academic achievement was the key to unlocking every door, the passport to a world of opportunity. I emphasized the importance of intellectual pursuits, the value of knowledge, and the power of education to transform lives. Guaranteed a good job, a stable career, and a secure future. I envisioned him climbing the corporate ladder, achieving professional success, and making a meaningful contribution to society. A nice house, a symbol of stability, security, and the American dream. A place to raise a family, create memories, and build a life of comfort and contentment. And a worry-free life. A life free from financial burdens, anxieties, and the constant struggle for survival. A life where he could pursue his passions, enjoy his leisure time, and live with peace of mind. He followed the plan, diligently and faithfully. He embraced the recipe I had given him, trusting that it would lead him to the promised land. Straight A's, no trouble. He excelled in his studies, consistently exceeding expectations and earning the praise of his teachers. He was a model student, a shining example of dedication and hard work. Always studying, sacrificing his free time and social life in pursuit of academic excellence. He was driven by a desire to succeed, to make me proud, and to fulfill the expectations that had been placed upon him. I was proud, beaming with pride at his accomplishments and his unwavering commitment to the plan. I saw him as a reflection of my own values, a testament to the effectiveness of the recipe I had shared with him. Convinced I was guiding him down the right path, steering him towards a future filled with success and happiness. I felt a sense of responsibility, a duty to provide him with the tools and knowledge he needed to navigate the complexities of life, to a better life than I had. A life with more opportunities, more security, and more fulfillment. I wanted him to surpass my own achievements, to reach heights that I had only dreamed of. But I didn't realize, blinded by my own beliefs and assumptions, that the world was changing beneath my feet. I was so focused on the past, on the traditions and values that had shaped my own life, that I failed to see the shifting landscape of the present. The world was changing faster than any of us could keep up. Technology was advancing at an unprecedented rate, industries were being disrupted, and the skills and knowledge that were once valued were becoming obsolete. The old blueprint wasn't a guarantee anymore. The traditional path to success was no longer a sure thing. The rules had changed, and the old recipe was starting to crumble. I was about to learn that the rules had changed, that the world had evolved, and that the old recipe for success needed a serious update. The realization was dawning upon me that I might have been leading my son down a path that was no longer relevant, that the future I had envisioned for him might not be the future he would actually inherit. I walked that same path: education, hard work, checking every box. It got me by, but not ahead. The degree, the job, the steady paycheck, still living paycheck to paycheck. The comfort and freedom I expected, nowhere to be found. I felt like I'd been sold a dream that didn't match reality. The world had moved on. A college degree wasn't a golden ticket anymore. It just got you in the door, not to the winner's circle. I kept these doubts to myself, still pushing my son to follow the same path. But deep down, I knew the old rules didn't work like they used to. The seed of doubt was growing. It was a typical weeknight, the kind where the house was filled with the quiet hum of studying. My son, usually buried in his books, was working diligently at his desk. The scene was familiar, almost comforting. But then, everything shifted. One night, amidst the stacks of textbooks and the glow of his desk lamp, my son looked up from his textbooks and asked, "Dad, does it really pay off?" The question hung in the air, heavier than I expected. It wasn't just a casual inquiry, it was laced with genuine concern and a hint of disillusionment. He wasn't being disrespectful, far from it. He was genuinely confused, grappling with the expectations and realities of the world we had presented to him. He was trying to reconcile the promise of hard work leading to success with what he was observing around him. "You work so hard, Dad," he continued, his voice tinged with a worry that mirrored my own. "But we're just okay. We're not struggling, but we're not exactly thriving either." "Are all these A's?" He gestured towards his meticulously completed assignments. "Just going to get me a life of being just okay?" He was questioning the very foundation of the educational path he was on, the path we had always encouraged. That question hit me hard. It wasn't just a simple query. It was a profound challenge to the narrative I had always believed in, the narrative I had passed on to my son. I had no answer. Not a good one, anyway. The usual platitudes about hard work and perseverance felt hollow, inadequate in the face of his honest doubt. He saw through the pep talks. He wasn't looking for empty reassurances. He was seeking genuine understanding and a realistic perspective. I was the proof, standing right in front of him. My life, while comfortable, wasn't the grand aspirational prize I'd implicitly promised through my own dedication to work and education. It was a sobering realization. I realized the old formula, study hard, get good grades, get a good job, didn't guarantee success anymore. The rules had changed, and I hadn't fully adapted. The world had changed, evolving at a pace that left traditional notions of success behind, and I had to admit it, not just to him, but to myself. The landscape of opportunity had shifted dramatically. Good grades weren't a sure bet. They weren't the golden ticket they once seemed to be. They were just one piece of a much bigger puzzle, a puzzle that required creativity, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. It was time for honesty, brutal honesty, about the realities of the modern world and the skills needed to navigate it successfully. We needed a new conversation, one that acknowledged the limitations of the old paradigms and explored the possibilities of the new. It was time to redefine success, together. We started talking, really talking. It wasn't just the usual "how was your day" or "did you finish your homework" kind of talk. This was different. It was a conversation sparked by a growing distance between us, a feeling that we were living in separate worlds despite sharing the same roof. I felt like I was losing touch with what mattered to him, with what occupied his mind and fueled his ambitions. My son showed me teens making millions online. He pulled up videos, articles, and social media profiles, each one showcasing young people barely out of high school who were earning more in a month than I did in a year. It was a whirlwind of information, a glimpse into a digital landscape I barely understood. He was eager to share this world with me, a world where age seemed irrelevant and opportunity boundless. YouTubers, streamers, dropshippers. At first, I dismissed it. That's not a real job, I thought. It seemed like a fleeting trend, a digital gold rush that would eventually fade away. I clung to my traditional notions of career and success, the ones I had been taught and had followed for so long. The idea of making a living through online videos or selling products I never even touched felt foreign and, frankly, a little absurd. But these kids weren't just lucky. They were smart, leveraging digital skills and building brands. They understood the power of online communities, the art of creating engaging content, and the science of digital marketing. They were entrepreneurs in the truest sense, identifying opportunities and building businesses from scratch, all within the digital realm. The internet had changed the game. The rules had been rewritten, and the playing field had been leveled. The traditional gatekeepers of success-established companies, prestigious universities, were no longer the only path to prosperity. Success wasn't about degrees. It was about creativity, adaptability, and digital literacy. These young entrepreneurs understood things schools ignored. They possessed a practical, hands-on knowledge of the digital world that traditional education simply didn't provide. They were self-taught experts in areas that were becoming increasingly vital in the modern economy: marketing, branding, audience engagement. I realized my degree and experience weren't enough anymore. The skills I had spent years honing were becoming less relevant, less valuable in this new digital landscape. I felt a growing sense of unease, a fear of being left behind. The world rewarded those who could create, connect, and adapt. My son was showing me a new reality. He wasn't just sharing interesting videos. He was offering me a glimpse into the future, a future where the rules were different and the opportunities were vast. The old map I'd given him led to a place that no longer existed. The path I had envisioned for him, the one I had followed myself, was becoming obsolete. The world had changed too much, too quickly. We needed a new map. We needed to learn together, to explore this new digital world and find our place in it. It was time to embrace the unknown and chart a new course, together. I had to face some hard truths. A formal education isn't a guarantee of financial success. Plenty of PhDs are broke, plenty of dropouts are millionaires. Our education system is outdated, built for a world that doesn't exist. Schools teach facts, not how to think like an entrepreneur or manage money. Financial literacy is ignored. Kids graduate knowing the Pythagorean theorem, but not how to invest or avoid debt. We're raising generations who are book smart but money dumb. The system prepares them to earn but not to build real wealth. Studying isn't bad. Education is a foundation, but it's just the starting point. In today's world, you need more tools, financial education and digital skills. Learn about money, investing, saving, building assets, creating multiple income streams. Teach your kids to make money work for them, not just work for money. Digital skills are essential. Social media, content creation, e-commerce, coding. You don't have to be a YouTuber, but you need to understand the digital landscape. These skills open doors to new opportunities. It's about being equipped for the new economy, not just watching from the sidelines. The right tools make all the difference. My advice has changed. It's a blend now. Study hard, get the foundation, but don't stop there. Financial literacy is just as important as math or science. Read about investing, open a savings account, learn about the stock market. Treat financial education as a core subject. Encourage digital exploration. Ask questions, start small projects, learn by doing. Be open to unconventional paths. New jobs are created every day. Listen to your kids' passions, even if they're unfamiliar. Help them build both traditional knowledge and modern skills. Our job isn't to force them onto our path, but to help them navigate theirs. Success today means being adaptable, resourceful, and open-minded. Parents, I know you love your kids and want the best for them, but check the map you're using. Is it for today's world or the one you grew up in? The landscape has changed. It's okay to admit we don't have all the answers. Learn alongside your kids. Let them teach you about new opportunities. Support their curiosity and entrepreneurial spirit. Balance formal education with practical skills, finance and digital literacy. The goal isn't just a good student, but a resilient, adaptable human. Have honest conversations. Listen without judgment. Be a partner in their journey. Let's raise a generation that's not just book smart, but life smart. This is bigger than grades. It's about our children's future. We need to keep this conversation going at home, in our communities, and in our schools. Demand financial literacy and digital skills in education. Give kids the tools to draw their own map and define their own success. If this message resonated, share it, talk about it, and join the movement. Subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more. We're in this together. Let's get to work and build a better future for our kids.